Hey everybody, welcome to Matt's Metal Show. Today, this is a big one, man. This is one I've been thinking about doing forever and ever and ever. And I'm going to do it today. Today we're talking about David Bowie. People are going to be like, well, that's not metal. If every metal band you've ever listened to didn't listen to Bowie, you're tripping. Bowie is like the founding father of like all kinds of different music. So definitely going to talk about a lot of Bowie. I've been listening to Bowie now for the last like 4 days, immersing myself in Bowie, kind of establishing some of the albums that I've kind of glossed over the years. So I came up with my list. I actually wrote it like 7 different fucking times, crossed a bunch of shit out, and then went, wait, no. The top 10 was difficult, but not totally difficult. There's Bowie albums that I love, and there's Bowie albums that people love, and I know this is going to be one of those shows where people are going to be like, what? What are you talking about? You're tripping, dude. There's going to be some controversial picks on here. Don't give a shit. Go ahead and put it in the comments, man. Subscribe and leave comments. There was a dude the other day that left this comment. I did a Kiss show like a year ago. And all of a sudden, like out of the blue, this fucking dude like leaves a comment like a year later. And he was like, you're smoking crack. Or what did he say? He's all, you must have been strung out when you were doing your list. You should be banned from YouTube and all this crazy shit. So I replied to him. I said, dude, it's my list, man. Music is subjective. We all hear shit different. There's no right answer, no wrong answer. But it's kind of funny when like bullies come rolling in and they tell you what you should love. So I said opinions, like assholes, you know, everybody has one, and some people choose to be the latter. And it was weird because the dude like actually apologized to me right after. He said, dude, I don't know what I was thinking. That was fucking rude. And then I said, dude, where's your list? And then he sent me his list of Kiss albums. And I was like, cool, man. That's a fucking cool list. There's no right answer, no wrong answer on these fucking lists, man. This is just how I hear these albums, how I've spent time with these albums, and what these albums mean to me. Now, the whole point of this show is to just get you interested in fucking David Bowie. Or, you know, I did a Gary Moore show the other day. It's like, dude, if you just go out and listen to one fucking Gary Moore song, I did my fucking part. A lot of these shows, you know, I'll watch Pete Pardo and them and a lot of different guys when they do their album rankings. And I'll tell you, I don't always agree with their album rankings, but I will go and give like an album another listen, especially if it's an album that I don't really like. I'll always go back and go, that's an interesting point of view. Let me go check it out, and then I'll decide for myself. Most of the time, I'm right, in my opinion. Not in your opinion, in my opinion. Most of the time, if I don't like an album, even no matter how much you tell me how I should like it, I'll go back and listen to it, and I'll still say I don't fucking like this album. I was watching Pete Pardo and Martin Pava the other day on their, you know, Friday nights at the Funhouse, or Friday morning at the Funhouse, and they were going over their top 10 favorite albums of all time. And Martin Popoff picked Scary Monsters and Super Creeps from 1980 from David Bowie. And I was glad that he put Bowie on the fucking list. I didn't agree with that album. And it was funny to listen, you know, you listen to Martin Popoff and he's like telling you how fucking amazing that album is. And I don't agree. I know Robert Fripp played on it from King Crimson. I get that. And he did fine on a couple of songs. But overall, it didn't turn that album into my favorite album of all time. And then P was saying, yeah, man, lately, I listen to Scary Monsters or Station to Station. Back in the day, it would have been like Hunky Dory or The Man Who Sold the World, but now I'm listening to that. And it's like, that's cool. I mean, at least you're still listening to fucking Bowie. Like I said, there's no right answer, no wrong answer. But there's certain albums that have garnered a ton of praise in Bowie's career that I find mystifying. I mean, I pop them on. I listen to them. I've had a lot of years with these albums. I was never a huge David Bowie fan like 30 years ago. I will tell you. Like 30 years ago, I lived in an apartment with my wife and my daughter when she was first born. And I remember there was this guy that lived next door to us. His name was Greg. He was a keyboard player. He used to work down in the mall in the organ place where he would stand out wearing a Mozart wig. That guy that used to stand out in the mall and play the organ to get people to come into the store. That's what he did. But I remember I used to hang out with him, and he fucking totally turned me on to Bowie. Now, I knew who Bowie was, obviously, because I lived through the 80s, and Let's Dance was fucking huge, and we all loved those songs, Modern Love and China Girl and fucking Let's Dance. But for me, like, Bowie was kind of cursory. We all knew Space Oddity. We all knew there were certain songs, changes, all that stuff in the 70s, was on the radio, So I knew who Bowie was, but I never really garnered an interest in him until Greg kind of turned me on and said, dude, and I remember he told me, like, you got to listen to The Man Who Sold the World. And so I remember I went out and I got right around 90 or 91, Ryko Disc reissued all the Bowie shit up to that point and put bonus tracks and shit and remastered it and shit and put it out. So I remember I went out and one after another, I bought every fucking Bowie CD I could get my fucking hands on at the time. And, fuck, man. I mean, where did it end up? 93. I think this is probably the last one I got. This was the Ryko Disc one. This was 69 to 93. So, and this is a good compilation. Ugh. It's a good compilation. If you just want the singles. But I remember, man, dude, once I listened to Bowie and sat down and put the headphones on and actually fucking went through his catalog, I was fucking mystified. I was like, the Pandora's door had been opened. And I listened to a ton of fucking Bowie. And to this day, that was 32 years ago. And to this day, I fucking love Bowie, man. I fucking love Bowie. So I've always wanted to fucking go and do this list. So I'm going to do this list. Because Bowie is one of those people that, dude, every rock star will fucking tell you they fucking love Bowie. Ozzy and fucking Bruce Dickinson and fucking Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue. All these guys, Def Leppard, fucking love fucking Bowie. And, every glam band in the fucking universe fucking better love fucking Bowie. Bowie had a fucking trippy career. He started in 62 and he was 15 years old. He decided, I want to be a rock and roll star. I want to be a rock and roll star, right? And he kind of joined a bunch of bands in London and shit, did his thing, and then it was 66? I have them. The 66 Pie singles. He did these singles. He signed up with some dude. Back then they would sign you to an artist agreement, and they would do a bunch of singles in England. And he did a bunch of singles, these Pie singles. I'm not losing sleep. I dig everything. Can't help thinking about me. Do anything you say. Good morning, girl. And I say to myself, and that didn't really fucking work out. Now, originally, Mr. David Bowie was named David Jones. And he was trying to put his shit out as Davy Jones, I-E instead of Y. And that didn't really jibe well because of the Monkees at the time. In 66, the Monkees had Davy Jones. And so he decided to change his name to David Bowie. Actually, I saw an interview where he said he was going to change his name to David Cassidy. But the Partridge Family didn't really come out until 1970, so I'm not sure if like he was just being fun or so he was David Jones. He was promoting himself as Davy Jones, and then supposedly, according to Bowie, because I saw an interview with him where he said it, he said he decided to change it to David Cassidy, and that didn't work out. So then he changed it to David Bowie. You know, after Jim Bowie, after the knife, Bowie. You know, if you listen to Skid Row, he says some people think like Bowie's just a knife. Yeah, even Skid Row loved Bowie. Well, everybody should love fucking Bowie. Racer X, cover fucking Moon Age Daydream. I mean, come on, everybody loves fucking Bowie. About 2 billion people have covered all the young dudes. So anyways, he did a couple singles, didn't really pan out. So then he signed with Durham Records, and he did a bunch of more singles. If you have the Durham Anthology, 1966 to 68, that's got a lot of the early stuff that ended up on his first album. And that didn't do well. Finally, he came out with his first album in 67. And it's fun to listen to. Uncle Arthur's a cool song. Rubber Band. I mean, it's all kind of silly. You know, what was that one song about the gnome? Do, 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 do. The Laughing Gnome, yeah. Some of these songs he redid for an album that never came out. In 2000, he recorded a bunch of his old songs from this era, re-recorded them, and he was coming out with an album called Toy. And that never came to fruition until last year they put it out. And I included it on this list. I also included the soundtrack to... I included 2 soundtracks. I didn't... I included the Labyrinth soundtrack, and I included the Buddha of Suburbia soundtrack. I didn't include the Christine F soundtrack, Where Kinder von Bahnhof Zoo, We Children of the Zoo Station. I didn't include that because that album didn't have any like original tracks on it. It was all just clipped from different albums. So I didn't really include that because it's just basically like a compilation. But the other 2 actually had songs written for the project, so I actually included those on the list. So anyways, David came out with his first album in 67. It did nothing. Came out with his second album, which was also called David Bowie. The first album was called David Bowie. The second album was called David Bowie. Now people will go, wait, I thought it was called Space Oddity. Well, it wasn't called Space Oddity until a couple years later after he became popular. Then they went and changed the name to Space Oddity. Came out with Space Oddity. Got a little bit of, you know, the single Space Oddity was pretty big. It was going good, but then they it kind of lost gas. So the next album, Man Who Sold the World, 1970, was fucking amazing. Went through a bunch of band member changes and shit like that. Went into his kind of glam phase. up until like 74's like Diamond Dogs. And then he did a full circle and he ended up in Philadelphia and he fucking came out with an R&B album called Young Americans in 1975. Or people call it Blue Eyed Soul. It's kind of like the Hall & Oates, you know? And people were kind of mystified. It got a lot of bad reviews. Got a lot of good reviews, but it got a lot of bad reviews. It had John Lennon on it. He was palling around with John Lennon at the time. Him and Harry Nilsson. John Lennon and Harry Nilsson were out of control, and they were doing a bunch of fucking cocaine and shit, and they were all partying. Woo! Well, they were hanging out with fucking David Bowie. And then Bowie, the next year, he moved from New York to L.A., in 1976, and he recorded an album called Station to Station. And by this point, David's drug use was out of fucking control. And I've seen a thing on YouTube where they actually visit the house where he was at, and all sorts of crazy shit was supposed to be going on there. And so this kind of period from 76 on for a little bit, David was, he was fucked up on Young Americans, but he was really fucked up on Station to Station. And a lot of people fucking worship Station to Station. They think it's one of the greatest Bowie albums of all time. I fucking disagree. I've always fucking disagreed. I remember on my Amazon review, I fucking said what I said, and people came at me and they're like, "You're fucking ludicrous. This is the greatest fucking album." And I was like, "Not to me, it isn't." He was doing so much cocaine that Harry Nilsson and John Lennon kind of bailed. He was sitting in his house doing a bunch of cocaine. He was eating red and green peppers and milk. That was his food. So he weighed like 80 fucking pounds. He was coked out of his fucking skull. He thought fucking wizards and demons were trying to steal his semen, and he was fucking out of his fucking head. But he came out with the Thin White Duke. You know, Dave always had a persona, right? He had Ziggy Stardust. He had fucking Aladdin Sane. You know, and then he fucking was the Thin White Duke. He was fucking fucking coked out of his fucking mind. You can watch videos of him on like the Dick Cavett show and stuff, and he's totally coked out of his fucking skull. And then and he was hanging out with Iggy Pop, of course, and Iggy was fucking slamming heroin. So the song like TVC15 is like basically about Iggy thought that the TV had eaten his girlfriend, and he was fucking hallucinating. And can you imagine the madness that was going on in his fucking house? Dave Bowie's coked out of his fucking skull, thinking fucking demons and wizards and shit are conspiring against him. And then you got heroined out fucking Iggy Pop sitting in front of the TV thinking like it fucking stole his girlfriend. Was it an imaginary girlfriend? Was it Carol Ann from fucking Poltergeist? Maybe. Anyways, all sorts of crazy shit was supposed to go on in that house. I watched a YouTube video where they kind of tried to get close to it. And they were like, yeah, it's all kinds of weird shit happened here when David Bowie lived here and shit. Well, anyways, he got the fuck out of LA after that. And he decided, him and fucking Iggy decided, like, dude, we're fucked up. We need to get clean. So they moved to Berlin. And they worked on a couple of Iggy albums. David worked with Iggy. And they also worked with Brian Eno. Well, they didn't, but Bowie did. And they came out with the Berlin trilogy. So they were trying to get clean, get the fuck away from America, get away from fucking England, get away from, and trying to clean themselves up. And at the same time, put out music. So there's 2 albums that came out from Iggy, Lust for Life and The Idiot. It's had a bunch of Bowie tunes. And then there was Low, Heroes, and Lodger that came out, and they were kind of intermixed with, Bowie was trying to release his album first, and then Iggy's album, and there was a lot of things, and Bowie even admitted like there was he called him James because that's Iggy Pop's real name. It's like James Ostrom or something like that. That he put him through. He was kind of like the sounding board for what Bowie was trying to come up with. So he kind of like used him, which is funny because years later, Let's Dance and Tonight, there's still a bunch of fucking Iggy songs. Fuck, there was an Iggy song on Never Let Me Down, Bang Bang. It was a fucking Iggy Pop song. So Bowie was just, when he was starting to run out of ideas and kind of stuck in neutral, he was just ripping fucking, using fucking Iggy Pop again. Hey, Iggy, come over. I'm going to steal all your songs. Sometimes he made it better, and sometimes the Iggy songs were better, so that's all I'm going to say. But the Berlin trilogy was a trip. It started off with Low, where it was like the first side of the album was songs, and the second side of the album was all instrumental stuff. And it was drastic instrumental stuff, and it was pretty fucking cool. There was a lot of cool stuff. And then same with Heroes, was all kind of front loaded with regular songs, and then it was a bunch of instrumentals on the second side. But then by Lodger was kind of them breaking away, and even Brian Eno was like, didn't really like the way, where Bowie went lyrically with the album. But that album was more straightforward. It didn't have a bunch of instrumentals on it. It's a trip. And then after that, what did he do? Bowie entered the 80s with Scary Monsters, where he dressed like a harlequin. Because, Bowie did study mime and art and shit like that. So Bowie was on the visual side of everything, but he was also on the music side of everything and trying to, like, break boundaries and do different weird things. Scary Monsters came out in 80. And then a few years later, we got his most successful album in America. I mean, Bowie wasn't this huge entity in America. He was probably concert-wise, but, like, as far as albums, Let's Dance went platinum. And I think Tonight went platinum. Yeah. And then everything else is pretty much either gone gold or did nothing. Which is crazy, but did great fucking, great success in Europe and the UK and shit, but not so much in America as far as record sales were concerned. Let's Dance was huge. He hooked up with Nile Rodgers. They got this kid off the street. His name was Stevie Ray Vaughan. Nobody fucking knew who the fuck he was. He played fucking lead on there. Nile Rodgers played guitar. It was kind of a dance, kind of a new wave dance kind of thing. Very MTV. Very popular. Even covered China Girl. China Girl had been on, The Idiot? I think it had been on The Idiot, right? China Girl. My little China Girl. 77. China Girl. What Iggy album was that on? I think it was on The Idiot. I'm pretty sure. My computer's like, no, I'm not going to show you. Well, yeah, China Girl was on The Idiot from 77 from Iggy Pop. Iggy Pop. Yeah. So he covered China Girl, which was his own song. He helped write it. So, he shared writing credits. So, he did that, and it was a huge success, which is kind of funny because the first one was not. And it's the same fucking song. But one was done by David Bowie, and one was done by Iggy Pop. Even though David played on that. The other thing he did in '82, there was a movie with Natasha Kinski. It was called The Cat People, or it was called Cat People, and he had done this one song on the soundtrack, and it was called Cat People Putting Out the Fire, Putting Out the Fire with Gasoline. um, so he kind of did his own version of that and put it on the album. I will tell you the original version is better, but the version on Let's Dance has fucking Stevie Ray Vaughan on it, so it's a toss-up. I thought the original version was edgier, but the second version that ended up on Let's Dance had fucking Stevie Ray Vaughan. Then he did Tonight, and he had a bunch of Iggy Pop songs on it, because at that point he was saying he was running out, like he was mired. Bowie didn't like the popularity because Let's Dance was huge, and he was all this popular, and he was even saying, like, he would look out into the crowd and see all these people, and he was like, I bet none of these people own a Velvet Underground album. You know, like he felt like a sellout. Because it was hugely popular, but, you know, it's like, dude, you know, that's the kind of thing is, like, people like Bowie, man, he was always, like, artistically trying to do shit. It was almost like he didn't give a fuck what people thought about it. But then when it was accepted and it was massive, he was almost like, what have I done? You know? Yeah. So went on Tonight, Never Let Me Down. And then he did Black Tie, White Noise. That was the album that he did where he was getting married to his wife, Iman, the supermodel. So there's a bunch of stuff on that album where it was like based on their wedding. And then over the years, like in the middle 90s and stuff, man, he did a bunch of fucking albums where it was super experimental, and that was the thing. So Bowie went from being like this kind of poppy Brit to like being kind of an edgy, acoustic, kind of rocker, then into glam, then into blues or R&B, and then he went to fucking, you know, like an 80s pop dance album like Let's Dance. And then he went on, you know, I mean, he did all that experimental stuff with Brian Eno. Bowie's all over the place. Bowie was constantly changing. He was like a chameleon. He was constantly changing his colors. He didn't want to stay in the same persona, you know. Like there was a point where he was getting popular with Ziggy Stardust, but then he wanted to kill that persona. So then he came up with Aladdin Sane. He always wanted to like do something else, another act. So, There's been years where I kind of lost like touch with Bowie, but I remember, and here was the funny thing: in 2016, on his birthday, which was January 8th, he came out with this album called Black Star. And I remember getting that album, and I was like, oh, I'm going to fucking check this out. I had gotten The Next Day, which was the album previous to that, and I liked it. I thought it was cool. It was more straightforward, and it was cool. So I remember I got Black Star like the day it came out, because I was like, I saw like a thing and they were like, oh, the new Bowie album's coming out. And I'm like, oh, cool. You know, like I liked the last one. You know, I haven't really been like full on into Bowie for the last, you know, couple of years. There was a few albums that he made that, you know, it was cool. I could always find fucking at least 3 fucking songs on a Bowie album that I fucking love. And then sometimes he goes so experimental it's almost like annoying. Like he's just trying to be annoying. It's just the genius of Bowie. So I remember in 2016 on January 8th, which was David Bowie's 69th birthday, I fucking got this album and I listened to the fuck out of it. And then I remember I was telling like friends of mine and shit, like, dude, this new Bowie album's fucking cool. Like, it's fucking weird and it's kind of dark, man. It's kind of a downer. And then 2 days later, David Bowie died. So on January 10th, 2016, David Bowie passed away from liver cancer that no one knew about. I mean, obviously, his close circle knew about it. And I was stunned. Everybody was stunned. I remember Martha Quinn. I was talking to Martha Quinn on Twitter. You know, Martha Quinn from MTV. And I posted something and she responded to me and she goes, I woke up this morning to a world without David Bowie. And if you think about it, we've lost David Bowie, we've lost Prince, we've lost Tom Petty, Eddie Van Halen, Neil Peart from Rush. I'm missing like a bunch, but I'm not going to go through the entire list of all the artists. But there's staple artists that were in my childhood and that were in MTV and that made MTV that are gone. And I remember like, wow, Bowie's gone. I'm not one of those people that like gets emotional when a rock star goes, but I am one of those people that kind of gets introspective and says, wow, you know, I mean, it was a hit. I didn't know him personally, so it wasn't like my dad died, but at the same time, musically, it was like, fuck, man. And I remember listening to Black Star. I had listened to Black Star for the previous 2 days. I listened to it a bunch. But for some reason, that album grabbed me, man. And there's a song on there. And Bowie was, you know, he kind of threw out all the stops. There's a song called Girl Loves Me where he's like, where the fuck has Monday gone? And I fucking, just that fucking song, even Black Star, the title track, it's like almost 10 minutes long. It's fucking good, man. Lazarus, Dollar Days. This album's perfect. But I noticed when I was listening to it the 2 days before Bowie passed away and then listening to it after Bowie passed away, it's an epitaph. He wrote his own epitaph. When you listen to the album, knowing then what we didn't know, I thought it was kind of dark. I thought it was a lot about death. Sounded like, oh, there's a lot of songs in here that are like about death. And then he died. And then now you're listening to it and you're like, oh, fuck. I mean, he wrote his own fucking exit papers, man. Fuck. So, Black Star, ooh, still one of my favorite albums. I listened to it a bunch. I still listen to it. It's such a great album. It's kind of out there. There's some avant-garde weird shit, and some of his vocals are trippy, but it's just fucking... There's a lot of songs, too, where they kind of run into the track, and you hear them like... Or you hear... You know, and that even makes it stand out even more. You hear these like he's just about ready to start the song, and you get that human feel to it, like you're standing in the fucking room with them, and it's pretty fucking amazing. So, without further ado, there are 28 albums on my list. 28 albums. I didn't include the Tin Machine albums. I almost did, but I was like, nah. So we're going to go over 28 albums from David Bowie. All right. Yeah. Let's start off with number 28. It's going to be the first soundtrack on this list. It's going to be The Buddha of Suburbia from 1993. This isn't a bad album. It was like, I didn't see the movie, so I'm not 100% on it. I love the title track, and I love a song called Bleed Like a Crazed Dad. Those two songs are awesome. There's a lot of weird fucking shit on here. There's a song, the second song's called Sex in the Church, and it's just like, sex. It's fucking weird, man. Um, this is cool though because it is a soundtrack and it's all Bowie, so it's not like the Labyrinth soundtrack, which is on this list too. It's kind of split between him and Trevor Jones, but this album was a Bowie fucking effort. Um, it's just it's my least favorite. It's not bad. It's just something that I don't grab a lot. Like I said, there's a couple of cool songs on it, or at least those songs that I thought were fucking cool. But it's not something that I'm like, oh my god, this is fucking awesome. I just listened to it this morning too, and I was like, it's all right. So number 28, The Buddha of Suburbia. Number 27. It's an album from 1999, and it's called Hours. And it's weird. It's got this picture of young David, holding old dead David on the cover. This was the soundtrack to a video game. But it was released as an album. And I will tell you, probably most people probably had no fucking idea that this was supposed to be the soundtrack. Originating as the soundtrack to the video game Omicron, The Nomad Soul. Didn't see it, didn't play it, didn't know of it. This album, it's not that exciting to me. It's one of those latter period Bowie albums that I'm just like not fucking into. I know he did Thursday's Child. I know he did it on the Storytellers. It's an alright song. I like Survive. I like What's Really Happening. That's a fucking heavy song. It's almost like a metal song. And The Pretty Things Are Going to Hell. And then there's a little blurb that's like a little instrumental. It's called Brilliant Adventure. But I thought the other songs were kind of boring. This was the last album that he did with... what's his name? Reeves Gabriels, the guitar player. This was the final effort that he ever played with him. It's cool because Reeves always throws in like, you can tell Reeves is a whaler. He wants to fucking jam. So he always throws in these cool licks and shit. But this album just didn't do a bunch for me. I tried to give it a shot. I remember because my buddy Jeremy, he was telling me this box set came out, and he sent me a bunch of stuff, and I was like, yeah, I already got all that. And I don't think he had ever heard that album, and I was all, I didn't really listen to it a bunch. Let me like throw it back on, and I remember I listened to it, and I was like, it's all right. It's not anything stellar. This is kind of 1999 David Bowie for a video game. It was, though, one of the first albums, like major albums, that was available for download. So that was a big deal. But and then the song, What's Really Happening, they had a contest, and like a fan got to write like part of the lyrics. His name was Alex Grant. So he got to sing backing vocals on that track. And he got to write some of the lyrics. And that's a cool fucking song. It's fucking almost metal. It's like, listen to it. Bowie fucking trip you out every once in a while. He comes out with these albums that are super mellow and weird. And you're just like, it's kind of boring. And then all of a sudden he goes into this song where it's just like, fucking, you're like, what the fuck? Bowie didn't. Some of his albums just flowed along. And some of his albums were just, So, fucking Hours from 1999. Number 26, I'm going to go Earthling. Earthling. If you love Trent Reznor, and Nine Inch Nails opened for Bowie on this tour, so it kind of makes sense. When you listen to this album, there's a lot of industrial, weird kind of shit. Like the opening track, Little Wonder, it starts out all crazy, and then it kind of mellows out into a normal song. But you're like, what the fuck? It's totally industrial. It's It's got a song called I'm Afraid of Americans, and there's a song called Law Earthlings on Fire, which those are my two favorite songs on this whole fucking album. And they're the last two songs on this fucking album. The rest of it, it's cool, but it's, you know, it's kind of industrial, kind of Nine Inch Nails, kind of David Bowie. I think there's a version. I know there's a version. There's a version of I'm Afraid of Americans with Trent Reznor on it, so. But this album didn't do a ton for me either. It's kind of weird. So that was number 26. Number 25, Reality. From 2003. Reality. It covers Pablo Picasso from The Modern Lovers. That's a pretty cool song. Never Get Old is a good song. Fall Dog Bombs the Moon is a cool song. He does a George Harrison cover, but I don't really fucking dig it. And then Bring Me the Disco King. Those are the songs that I like. This is a cool album. It's, you know, 2003 David Bowie. Unfortunately, on this tour, they had to cut the tour short because David had a fucking heart attack, and then he fucking disappeared for like a decade. For 10 years. It's kind of out of the public eye, just kind of, you know, he had a fucking heart attack, dude. I think he was like, oh shit. Not till 2013's The Next Day was there a new album. So it's a cool album. It's number 25. Yeah. Number 24, I'm going to go the 2000 recorded Toy album that was released last year. This is a trippy album. It's just all a bunch of old covers, and there's a couple of new songs on here. This was, 2000, so me adjust my notes here. So this was between Hours and Heathen, basically. He was working on this album with a bunch of different people, and then it just kind of never came to fruition. Most of these songs were released kind of as the B-side to singles and shit. But there's a lot of cool songs on here, and it sounds fresh. Like he does I Dig Everything, and it sounds modern and fresh. Like you'd almost, like if you compare it to the original, it's almost like a totally different song. Karma Man, that was an old kind of lost gem from like the DRAM days. Conversation Piece, that was like a bonus track on David Bowie 1969, the Space Oddity album. I have that. Let Me Sleep Beside You, that's a good fucking song. Baby Love That Way, that's alright. Toy, Your Turn to Drive. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun album. It's got a disturbing fucking cover. Looks like David's face imposed on an infant, and he looks like a chimpanzee. Yeah, it's fucking scary. It's like that Black Sabbath cover with fucking fucking Born Again, that devil baby. It's kind of like that. It's fucking disturbing. But Toy from 2000, I'm going to call it from 2000 because that's when it would have come out. But it was released in 2021. That's number 24. Number 23 is going to be David Bowie from 1967. It's a fucking fun album. Starts out with Uncle Arthur does the dishes, you know. It's got Sell Me a Coat. It's got Rubber Band on it. This is kind of just the Britpop kind of David Bowie, David Jones, Little Bombardier, Please Mr. Gravedigger. I mean, this is The Hungry Man. There's cool songs on here, and it's a fun album to listen to, but it's so not Bowie. That's, you know, it's like, who is this? You know? It's like the nice David Bowie. It's like the clean, poppy David Bowie. It's a trip. But it's fun to listen to. That's David Bowie, the original album from 1967, self-titled. Number 22 is going to be Never Let Me Down from 1987. This album is After Tonight, and this is a period where David would say he had reached a creative lull. And he kind of considers like Let's Dance Tonight, and this album was like his creative lull, where he didn't play a lot of instruments, he just sang. This album's a trip. They remixed it in 2018 and actually put like live band players, because the original album, it was a drum machine. And we all know how I feel about drum machines. It's like, dude, you're David Bowie. How many fucking drummers do you know? You know a million fucking drummers, David Bowie. Call Cozy Powell, call Simon Phillips, call fucking anybody would have came and played drums on your fucking album. But no, it was the 80s. It was, MTV fucking yeah. Let's just go program those drums. The album didn't do awesome. I will tell you, Time Will Crawl is a fucking cool song. Glass Spider is weird, but it's fun. It's weird. Mommy, Shining Star, Making My Love. That's a fucked up song. And the original had a little rap from Mickey Rourke. Crazy ass weirdo Mickey Rourke. This album's kind of all over the place. There's some cool songs. It's very, very fucking like new wavy kind of. But there was little nuances of like horns and shit in the background that was kind of like they fucked around with it and kind of synthesized it. And then so in 2018, I think it was Tony Visconti went back and was it Tony Visconti? I can't remember. There's so many fucking albums. Boom, 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 boom. Peter Frampton played on this fucking album. Played the sitar on fucking song was that? Zeros. Yeah, played the sitar. Blah 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 blah. Voodoo, Marco McNutty. Because how this came about is David had this engineer named Marco McNutty, or Mario McNutty. He went and remixed the song Time Will Crawl so David could put it on this compilation called I Select. And then he was always kind of like, God, I'd like to redo that album because there were some cool songs on there that kind of probably would have been better. So they redid this album in 2018 and they actually added, like a real drum. Like Sterling Campbell played the fucking drums on here and, Reeves Gabriel's played guitar. I will tell you, like, it's different. I don't know which one I like more. I kind of like the 80s-ness of the original a little bit more than the sensibility of the 2018. But I will tell you, like, some of the songs sound better. They kept Bowie's original vocals. I will tell you, they removed Mickey Rourke, though. So that, I don't know about that. But, so they just kind of tuned out and put the real horns back in because Bowie had like kind of taken the horns lines and kind of synthesized it. And so they kind of cleaned that up and put the real horns back in. And so it's basically like a real band playing behind Bowie because they left the original Bowie tracks. But overall, this wasn't a hugely strong album to begin with. I don't know that re-recording it made it stronger. I will tell you, I like the original Glass Spider a little bit better than the redone version. So that's just my opinion. But yeah. Number 21. I'm going to go Black Tie, White Noise, the wedding album, where Mr. Bowie was marrying Miss Mon. From 1993. I Feel Free does the fucking Cream song, right? I feel free. It sounds trippy, dude. Black Tie, White Noise, the title track is awesome. I love Palace Athena. I like Miracle Goodnight. And I love Don't Let Me Down and Down. Everything else, it's alright. Like Jump They Say, like, I wasn't impressed with that. I don't know. It's a cool album. I don't pop it on a whole shit ton, but those songs I would definitely include on a fucking comp list I was doing, you know. Today I'm drinking strawberry apricot. So good. So good. Oh yeah. Number 20, I'm going to go. This album's called One Outside. Or just Outside. I have two versions of it, so I'm going to click on the regular version. Okay. This is Brian Eno, right? Definitely Brian Eno. This is a trip. This album is like a concept album. And it's kind of, it's weird because it's based on like Twin Peaks. But it had nothing to do with Twin Peaks. And the working title was the number one, Outside, and it was subtitled The Nathan Adler Diaries, A Hypercycle. Yeah, and it had Brian Eno on it. Boom, boom, boom. The project was bootlegged. It says, influenced by the TV series Twin Peaks, the story of Outside concerns the residents of a fictional Oxford town, New Jersey, and is presented in a nonlinear narrative. It's fucking weird as shit. Now, there's some fun stuff on here, but this album is fucking all over the place. And I kind of like it for that because it's different. And that's the thing about Bowie and Eno, you know, is like, whoa. The Heart's Filthy Lesson is a fucking great song. A Small Plot of Land is a fucking cool song. Hello Space Boy kind of just fucking jumped under my skin. It's got all these little weird fucking segues and shit in it. It's definitely not an album you would just casually glance at. It's something that you put on and you're like, what the fuck is this? Like, it's one of those albums that kind of grabs your attention because it's fucking all over. And there's some weird shit on here. But it's a fun album to listen to. Outside, I put number 20. So, number 19, I chose the Labyrinth soundtrack. I know people are going to be like, why are you putting the Labyrinth sound? Shut the fuck up. It's my fucking list. Like I said, every other song is basically, so this is how it worked. It was like Bowie wrote like 5 songs. Right? He wrote, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Bowie wrote 5 songs, and then the other 7 songs were just Trevor Jones. Altogether, the album flows like fuck. It's fucking awesome. And we all know, if you watched Labyrinth, you know, I got my little labyrinth thing right there. little Bowie, right? I remember Jareth, the Goblin King. I remember Bowie, right? Y'all remember Jareth, the Goblin King. There's super glare on that, but yeah, little Bowie there. My chair makes a squeak. That sounds creepy, right? If you love the movie, and I love the movie, and obviously love the soundtrack, it's fucking great. There's he wrote Magic Dance, Magic Dance, Dance. You remind me of the babe with the power of hoodoo, remind me of the babe. Could have sworn though in the movie he said, "Slap that baby and make him pee" in the song that ends up on the album. Slap that baby, make him free, but pretty sure in the movie it says slap that baby, make him pee. It's pretty funny. There's a song called Chilly Down, which he didn't sing it. The guys that were ripping their heads off, the fire guys, they're the ones that sang it. As the World Falls Down, Within You, and Underground. Those are the fucking 5 songs that Bowie did. They're really good. This album flows, and Trevor Jones does some fucking amazing fucking orchestrations here. So it's a fucking great album. So 19 is going to be Labyrinth from 1986. Number 18, I'm going to go Heathen. Heathen from 2002. Weird cover where he has the kind of glossed over cataract eyes going on. Kind of fucking weird looking, isn't it? He's like, Dave's always wearing a suit and tie. It's like weird. It's like he went back to the 60s, like he's like Leave It to Beaver, you know. This has Slip Away on it, which is a fucking awesome song. It has Slow Burn, as Afraid, has I've Been Waiting for You, and it has I Took a Trip on a Gemini Spaceship. And even the title track's fucking cool. Heathen and The Rays. Yeah. Just a cool album. 2002. It's got some fun fucking stuff. It's got some great music on it. So, Heathen. Number 18. Number 17. I don't know if this will be controversial. I don't fucking know. I don't give a fuck. But 1975's Young Americans. Young Americans. He was a young American. People are going to go, what? It's fucking genius David Bowie. Not really. David decided, hey, I'm going to go be an R&B singer. And, you know, Teddy Pendergrass was like his backup singer. He actually wrote one of the songs with him, right? Fascination? Pretty sure. Yeah. Young Americans is awesome. I like the song Right is a fucking good song. He does the cover of Across the Universe with John Lennon. And Fame. Fame! With John Lennon. The weird thing about it is that, you know, John's singing like dual vocals with David, and it's like David's voice just drowns out fucking John Lennon's voice. It's like they harmonize good together, but it all sounds like Bowie. This is a trippy album, man. Now, originally this album was like supposed to be called something else. What was it called? The Gloucester? I believe so. I believe this album originally was called The Gloucester. They call this Plastic Soul. Plastic Soul. No, it was Luther Vandross, right? Luther Vandross was his backup singer, not Teddy Pendergrass. I might say Teddy Pendergrass. Luther Vandross. Yep. So what happened here is David's in Philly doing this fucking album, right? And then he's like, gets to be friendly with John Lennon, so he goes to do a couple of tracks with him over in New York. And so instead of this album being called The Gloucester, right? Bow, bow, bow. Do, 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 do. Pretty sure. Ba-da-da. Okay. I don't know. I can't find it here, and I'm not going to fucking stare at it anyways. So when Ryko Disc put out the original remastered, they added 3 tracks, which is Who Can I Be Now? And It's Gonna Be Me and John. I'm Only Dancing Again, which is so originally Across the Universe and Fame were not going to be on this album. So when this album was called The Gloucester, it had those 3 songs, and it didn't have the John Lennon. And fucking pain in the ass. This had Carlos Alomar on guitar. Earl Slick. Earl Slick was back, right? He played on the tour for Diamond Dogs, right? Earl Slick. He was on the David Live album. So he came in. Luther Vandross was the backing vocal arrangements. Mike Garson on piano, which David worked for. David Sanborn on fucking saxophone. Yeah. This was something different that Bowie wanted to do. Now when you watch him on like Dick Cavett stuff and he's all drunk and being a weirdo, you know, you're like doing a bunch of cocaine, you're like, okay. He just decided he wanted to be on fucking Soul Train. He done fucking Diamond Dogs, and then even on the second half of like the Diamond Dogs tour, he was starting to introduce this stuff. They had recorded, and then they went out on that kind of second half of the tour. I think it was called like the Soul to Soul tour or some shit like that. And Bowie decided, dude, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a soul singer. I'm going to be a fucking R&B soul singer. Okay. It's number fucking 17 on my list. It's not one of my favorite fucking Bowie albums. There's a couple of great tunes on here. I don't know if I like put on the stuff that was cut off and make it the original album that he intended. Would it be any different? I mean, I'm Gonna Be Me is a great fucking song. There's a lot of cool fucking Carlos Alomar fucking riffs on here and fucking Earl Slick. But there's a lot of singing to the choir. It just kind of smooths over for me. I'm not that fucking into this album, so that's number 17. Young Americans. He was a young American. Young American. Do you remember your President Nixon? Yeah, okay. A little commentary there. Number 16, I'm going to go Next Day from 2013. This is that album that 10 years after Bowie had a heart attack on the reality tour. He comes out with this Next Day album. And it's funny because the album cover is the cover of Heroes. And then they put a white box on it that said The Next Day. It's the cover of Heroes. We could be heroes. It opens up with The Next Day, which is a fucking great song. I like Love Is Lost. I'd rather be high. How does the grass grow? This is This is a cool, steady, fucking, just rocking, cool fucking album. You could tell, like, there was like he was excited to make this album, and I think this album was kind of recorded under secrecy, I want to say. And I remember like Tony Visconti and like Earl Slick, they were like dying to fucking tell people, and then there was this tweet or some shit where fucking Robert Fripp tweeted something that said, I had a dream that Bowie called me or David called me to ask me to work on another album. And they were freaking out because they were like, what the fuck? But it was just a random thing that he said, like kind of saying like he'd like to work with Bowie again. And he had no idea that they were working on this album because it was done in secrecy. So it's a cool fucking latter day fucking Bowie album. It's second to his last album, so it's fun. It's good fucking all the way through. It's a fucking cool listen. So that is number 16. Number 15, I'm going to go Tonight from 1984. This album, I didn't really pay attention to it. This was kind of where, when I was a kid, like, kind of Bowie kind of fell off our radar. I mean, Let's Dance was huge, and that fucking those videos were played all over MTV and fucking played to death. And then Tonight, it wasn't, I don't remember it being as popular. I mean, it went platinum here in America, but I don't remember being in high school in 1984 and having people like trip balls on it. I remember seeing people wearing the T-shirts because they all went and saw him, because I'm sure he came here. You know, it's got that cover where it's like a blue painting of him and it's all weird looking. There's a lot of songs on here where he kind of borrowed from his buddy Iggy Pop. He sings a song with Tina Turner. The title track is with Tina Turner. It's all right. Loving the Alien is a cool fucking song. Now, I didn't used to like that song, but then I started listening to the lyrics of it, and it's fucking trippy, man. Loving the Alien is like he's kind of renouncing, or he's kind of speculating on people's fascination with religion. Loving the Alien, you know, the alien, the person that we're praying to. A lot of dark shit on there. Neighborhood Threat. It's an Iggy Pop tune. It's fucking cool. That's a good song. Blue Jean. Blue Jean. I like Tumble and Twirl. That's a cool fucking song. And there's a song called Dancing with the Big Boys. It's with Iggy Pop. He just kind of sings backing vocals. That's a cool fucking song. This is a fun album, but, you know, some of the songs that he covered from Iggy, like the Iggy songs were better. They were. My version has a bunch of bonus tracks. This Is Not America, As the World Falls Down, Absolute Beginners, the single edit of Loving the Alien, because Loving the Alien was like 7:13, then they kind of cut it down to put out as a single. So Tonight, like, it was okay, but like Bowie hated this fucking album because he said this was a period where, like, I wasn't interested. I was kind of just putting out whatever. He's just singing vocals, just like on Let's Dance, just singing vocals, not playing guitar, saxophone, or keyboards, or just kind of phoning it in. And he kind of felt that way, and he was kind of distanced from the popularity that he was kind of mystified about. So, or he just couldn't. From what he said in interviews, he couldn't like grasp these people that were showing up in flocks. You know, like he didn't have anything in common with them. Like he said, I doubt any of these people own a Velvet Underground album. So, number 14, I'm gonna go 1973's Pinups. I know it's a fucking cover album, but there's some fun covers on here. Rosalind's cool. See Emily Play. It's a Pink Floyd song, you know. And originally on the back of the album it was called Syd Barrett's Pink Floyd, because it was Syd Barrett's Pink Floyd. See Emily Play. That's one of those, old ass fucking Pink Floyd tunes. It's kind of fun the way Bowie does it. I kind of wanted to like it more. I Can't Explain by The Who. He does Friday on My Mind by the Easy Beats. So him and Gary Moore covered the Easy Beats, Friday on My Mind. His version's actually pretty fun. He covers the Yardbirds' The Shape of Things, which is pretty interesting. Anyway, Anyhow, Anywhere by The Who. I fucking like that version. It's fucking fun. And Where Have All the Good Times Gone by the Kinks is fucking cool. Now, mine had 2 bonus tracks on it, which was Growing Up by Bruce Springsteen. That's all right. But then there's a song, and it is by a band called Sorrow, and it's called Port of Amsterdam. And I fucking love that song. It's probably my favorite fucking song on my version of the album. In the port of Amsterdam, there's a sailor. It's fucking genius. Anyways, dig that. It's got Twiggy and fucking Bowie on the cover. Pinups from 1973. It's just a fun fucking album. He wanted to pay homage to all his fucking heroes that he was growing up, in London, and he would see these guys play and he'd be just mystified by them. And it's pretty fucking cool. So, Pinups, number 14. Number 13, I'm going to go Heroes from 1977. I know people love this fucking album, or they love the fucking song Heroes. I like this album. I mean, everything. I love fucking Bowie, so there's not anything on here that I fucking detest. There's a few albums that have stuff on it that I'm like, not totally interested in, but I love all these albums. So even way down here at number 13, I still love that album. I just don't understand why people are so fucking infatuated with it. I understand because the first side is fucking genius. And, that's cool. But, you see Johnny Depp out there singing with the Hollywood Vampires, and he sings Heroes. And you're like, that's the David Bowie song that you picked? At least be cool like Kurt Cobain and do Man Who Sold the World. It's just weird how people latch onto like a certain song by an artist that has so many fucking amazing songs that you're just kind of like, kind of question it. You're kind of like, well, like Heroes is a cool song, but it's not one of my favorite David Bowie songs. It's just cool. But it's not like I'm dying to hear it. It's just like, we could be heroes if just for one day. Okay. Dude, there's better songs on this album, but like I said, I love Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast. Oh. I love Joe the Lion. Fuck, that's a cool song. Heroes is a good song. Sons of the Silent Age. Sons of the Silent Age is a fucking great song. I mean, the first 4 songs are bangers. Blackout's good. V2 Schneider is fucking good. Those instrumentals, because there's a fuck ton of instrumentals on here. I just will say, this is the second of the Berlin trilogy, and, like, with Low, it was like, yeah, it was cool, like the second side, War with Saza, or Warsaza, or whatever. It's supposed to be Warsaw, but they were fucking with the title. Like, it's cool. It's like avant-garde. It's kind of cool, those instrumentals. But by the second album, you're, like, starting to get formulaic. Even though the stuff is masterful, it is. When you listen to those songs, Moss Garden, fucking Sense of Doubt, they're fucking cool. But did I come here to fucking listen to fucking musical fucking this tapestry of fucking instrumentals, or did I come to listen to fucking Bowie sing to me? And I kind of come here to listen to Bowie sing to me. So, Yeah, I kind of have this as the weakest of the fucking trilogy albums. Not by much, but it is to me. So I know people are gonna lose their fucking mind and be like, "Heroes should be number 2 under station to station." Well, it's coming. Just my opinion. Your opinion. Put it in the comments. Tell me what you think. Tell me what your list is. Okay. Number 12, and I don't ever remember in 1980 when I was 10. I don't remember this being a big album. And then I looked it up and it wasn't a big album. Not here in America. So in 1980, there was an album called Scary Monsters and Super Creeps. I don't ever remember hearing this or seeing this. This is 1980, so this is pre-MTV. So I know he has music videos for some of these fucking songs. But so you got Robert Fripp playing on this, right? Little Robert Fripp. I'm not a huge fucking Robert Fripp fan. I know he played in King Crimson. He's a great fucking guitar player. I know that. But at the same time, I'm not that excited about him. He's not one of the people that I would name as my favorite guitar players of all time. I mean, he's obviously awesome, but at the same time, it has fucking Pete Townsend on it too. Playing on Because You're Young. It's got Carlos Alomar, of course. George Murray on bass. Dennis Davis on drums. Mr. David Bowie doing vocal synthesizers, mellotron, electric piano, synth bass, sound effects, backing vocals, and saxophone. Good God! Scary Monsters. It opens up with It's No Game, like part 1, and that's annoying. It's got that chick fucking talking in Japanese. Fucking annoying as shit. It's got Up the Hill Backwards. That's a cool song. It's got Scary Monsters and Super Creeps, which is a fucking brilliant song. It is. Scary Monsters and Super Creeps. Jimmy's guitar and the fucking... Oh, it's wailing. It's fucking great. And then it's got Ashes to Ashes, Funk to Funky. We know Major Tom's a junkie, strung out in heaven's high, reaching an all-time low. This is David Bowie addressing the fact that he was a fucking junkie. He was Major Tom, right? He's fucking throwing it out there. This is clean David Bowie. This is 1980, man. He's not fucking doing coke off of fucking Iggy Pop's fucking asshole. He's fucking kind of cleaned up, man. He's not into that anymore. He went through that, and he was like, fuck, that was bullshit. And so now he's like, yeah, I was a fucking junkie, dude. And it's a fucking great song. I fucking love... Those 2 songs are 2 of my favorite David Bowie songs of all time. Scary Monsters and Ashes to Ashes. I know people want to love fucking Fashion. I don't. I think it's alright. I love fucking Scream Like a Baby. That's a good fucking song. And then I like It's No Game Part 2, the final song on the album. And it's kind of like the second part, or it's kind of the redo version of the first part. The first part was annoying and bullshit. The second part's actually really fucking good, so... There's a bunch of bonus tracks on mine. He redoes Space Oddity. He redoes Panic in Detroit. Does Crystal Japan, and then he does the Alabama song by fucking The Doors, and it's fucking terrible. Those 4 songs kind of sullied this album for me for a while. Like I said, there's people, like, I remember my buddy Jeremy was like, dude, Scary Monsters, and I'm like, I don't really like that album that much. And he was like, why not? I go listen to it, and then when you're done, tell me why you think it's fucking awesome. And he did. He came back and he was like, it's not that fucking awesome. And I go, it's not. There's some cool songs on here. It's not a bad album. And, you know, it's got Robert Fripp on it and Alomar and all these, you know, it's a fucking good album, but at the same time, it's not fucking mind-blowing. And that she does with the, dude, the opening track where that chick's is fucking barking fucking Japanese at me, that was not a good way to fucking start this album. Talk about just killing the fucking vibe. But dude, Martin Popoff, he fucking it's like spoting on this album. That's cool, man. That's your favorite fucking David Bowie album? Okay. Everybody's got opinions on shit, and they're all right. Every fucking one of them. My opinion's right. Your opinion's right. They're all right to you, and that's all that matters. You can't argue. Nobody can come and fucking argue me into thinking that this is my favorite fucking album. It's never going to happen, so. Scary Monsters, 1980, number 12. Number 11, that other album that gets so much fucking hype. 1976, Station to Station, number 11. Just outside of the top 10. Oh my god! Dude, people fucking worship this album. I look at this album as a snapshot of a man that is fucking destroying his fucking life. David moves to fucking LA. He's hanging out with Iggy Pop. Iggy's slamming heroin. David's fucking snorting cocaine like in mountains and fucking acting like a crazy person. They're doing a bunch of weird lighting black candles and doing fucking evil shit in the swimming pool, and Iggy thinks the fucking TV ate his girlfriend. David's fucking living on green and red peppers and milk. That's what he was living on, and cocaine. So mountains of cocaine, red peppers, green peppers, and milk. That's what he was living on. Totally fucking crazy, bug bat shit, fucking crazy. And this album, to me, it's not a good vibe, man. People are like, oh my god, this album is so fucking amazing. Is it? First of all, it's got Earl Slick on it. And he does a bang up fucking job. It's got Carlos Alomar again. It's got Earl Slick. It's got George Murray on bass. It's got Dennis Davis on drums, you know. Bowie plays vocals, guitar, tenor, and alto sax, and mini moog. It's got 6 fucking songs on it. 6 fucking songs. Let's go over them real quick. I'll tell you why I don't fucking totally adore this fucking album. Station to Station, it's 10:13. It's a fucking staple David Bowie song. The return of the thin white duke, stabbing darts in lovers' eyes. It's fucking great, man. Golden years of what, right? Golden years is fucking great. 2 of my favorite fucking David Bowie album are fucking songs ever. And then it goes into, okay, Word on the Wing, it's alright. Doesn't blow me away. Not totally thrilled by it. TVC15, it's a song about frying fucking hallucinating crazy ass dumb fuck Iggy Pop, thinking his girlfriend's been eaten by the TV. It's not that exciting. TVC15. It's very repetitive, and it's kind of fucking bullshit. Stay is cool, and I will tell you, Stay is cool because of the guitar work on it. Whether it's Carlos Alomar or whether it's Earl Slick. There's some great fucking playing on this song. But like lyrically, like it's cool, but like the guitar just kind of pushes it over the top for me and makes me love it. And then Wild as the Wind. It's alright. So there's 3 awesome songs and 3 okay songs. So half the album is like, to me, it feels like filler. It does. And I don't know why people are fucking lose their fucking mind over this album. Like, I don't understand it. But if you love this fucking album, you want to rub it on your fucking body and shit, go ahead. Fuck. That's cool. It's fucking Bowie. I'm not, dismissing fucking Bowie. But at the same time, this album doesn't excite me. It's cool. I mean, from what came before and what comes after this album, I'm just saying, man. I mean, the fucking Berlin trilogy comes out. It blows this album away. I mean, dude, any of those albums except for maybe Heroes. I mean, Heroes is good, but it's not great. This fucking album, like, it's good, but it's not great. And then when you add on what I know about this period in Bowie's life, where he's just batshit fucking crazy, like, it's not that awesome. It's really not. So, what are you doing, Poop? We're talking about David Bowie.
Oh, is that your Labyrinth Funko Pop?
That's David Bowie. It's my David, but that's Jarrett. Let me see. This is Pook. Y'all remember Pook? Say hey.
Hello, everyone.
David Bowie. David Bowie. We'll keep him here to keep us company. All right. So station's number 11. Just deal with it, okay? Calm the fuck down. I want you.
He offends that when Luke got trapped.
No, I haven't told that story yet.
You should.
Go put that over there. I'm doing it. Number 10. Gonna go 1979. We're gonna go Lodger. That weird album where it's the final album of the Berlin trilogy where Bowie's stuck to the wall and his nose is kind of crooked. He's all, This is supposed to be the travel album, right? The Lodger starts off in the event that this fantastic voyage. It's got African Night Flight, which is fucking bizarre but awesome. Assassin, I kind of want to love that song, but there's something that just holds me back from loving that song. It's got Red Sails, Thunder Ocean. This is a fucking great song. It's got DJ. I am a DJ. I am what I play. He's, basically saying, you are your fucking job. It's fucked up. Look back in anger. I didn't always love Look Back in Anger. I like it a little bit more now. Boys Keep Swinging. Not a fan. Boys. They'll check you out. Like he's saying, like, boys check boys out and shit. I don't know. It's fucking whatever, dude. This is a fucking good album. Like, it's got some fucking fun songs on it. It doesn't like load you down on the backside of it with a bunch of fucking like just weird instrumentals. It was more of a straightforward finale to the Berlin trilogy. I guess Brian Eno wasn't that excited about this album, but this is a fucking good album, man. There definitely had some really fucking interesting fucking. I mean, like Red Sails is so fucking catchy, and then fucking African Night Flight is fucking trippy. Oh, it's fucking trippy. I was king of the mountain on high. It's fucking weird. Listen to it. It's fucking awesome. That is number 10. Number 9, we're going to go Let's Dance. Put on your red shoes and dance the blues. Let's dance. Under the moonlight, the serious moonlight, right? Opens up with Modern Love. Modern Love. Gets me to the church on time. Church on time. Makes me body. Or some shit like that. Modern Love, it was a hit. It's a fucking great song. China Girl. China Girl was that song that was on The Idiot that Bowie and Iggy did. And then David covered it, and it was this huge fucking hit. Because it was on MTV, too. Remember the video? My little China Girl. Oh, baby, you just shut your mouth. She said, shh. It's fucking weird. It's a trippy song. It's got Let's Dance. It's a great fucking song. It's got Ricochet on it, which is a cool fucking song. And then it has Putting Out the Fire with Gasoline. It's got the Cat People song, which, like I said before, the original version feels a lot edgier and a lot cooler, but it didn't have Stevie Ray Vaughan on it. Stevie Ray Vaughan plays fucking lead guitar on all these fucking songs. And then, he was like actually rehearsing with Bowie because he was going to go out on the Serious Moonlight tour. And then something happened. Probably Bowie figured out that fucking Stevie was coked out of his fucking mind. And he was like, nah, dude. I've been there. I've done that. Fuck that shit. And so Stevie did not go out on the Serious Moonlight tour. Well, did Earl Slick? I think it was Earl Slick. Not sure, but I'll look it up. But not right now. So, yeah, Let's Dance. This album sold like 10 million copies worldwide. It was a huge success for David Bowie. It's probably his most successful. I'm assuming his most successful album. In America, it went platinum. That was big news for Bowie. He only had 2 platinum albums in America. That was this album and the follow-up album Tonight. And that, I would garner, you probably owe half of that to fucking MTV. You do. Because we as children, when we were 13, when this album came out, fucking MTV was king. So, Let's Dance. Nile Rodgers playing guitar and helped co-produce it. It's kind of like a dance fucking album, kind of pop, kind of dance. Got some fucking cool shit on here, but Bowie hated it. He felt like a sellout. He did, but everybody else fucking ate it up. I think it's a cool fucking album. It's part of my childhood, so Let's Dance is number 9. Number 8 is that other David Bowie album called David Bowie, originally in 1969. Later, it was renamed Space Oddity. Boom, boom, boom. Do, do, do. When was it fucking renamed Space Oddity? I can't remember. 1972. RCA. Space Oddity. Yep. Ground control to Major Tom. Commencing countdown, engines on. Check ignition and may God's love be with you. This is Major Tom, the ground control. I'm stepping through the door and I'm floating in a most peculiar way. And the stars look very different today. We get Major Tom, we get Space Oddity, it became the title track. It was originally called David Bowie, but phenomenal fucking song. I love fucking Unwashed and Somewhat Slightly. Unwashed and Somewhat Slightly Dazed. Duh. Yeah. Kind of reminds me of Andy Warhol a little bit. And then Don't Sit Down. It's this little blurb. It's kind of funny. Signet Committee is cool. Wide-eyed boy from Free Cloud. My bonus track has the conversation piece, which ended up on the fucking Toy album. And didn't end up on the Toy album because the Toy album never came out until last year. This was a drastic change from the original David Bowie album from '67 to '69. This was clean poppy David Bowie, and then all of a sudden this was realistic, kind of dark, kind of weird, kind of cool, kind of fucking spacey, kind of blah blah blah. More of an artist, less of a bullshit. So this is a fucking great album. It's fun to fucking listen to. I listened to this a bunch, man. It's got Janine on it. It's a cool song. Letter to Hermione. It's got Memory of a Free Festival too. So, this is a cool fucking album. But we all fucking get captivated by the fucking title track because it's amazing. Because it's one of those songs in rock history that is up there. Fucking ground control to Major Tom, your circuit's dead. There's something wrong. Can you hear it, Major Tom? That's fucked up. I remember hearing that as a kid and being like, well, what happened to him? He's stuck in space. Yeah. Number 7, we're going to go a little album called Low from 1977. Same year as Heroes. This album to me is my favorite of the Berlin trilogy. It really is. Because it has fucking great songs. Starts out with Speed of Life, which is just this instrumental, and it kind of leads you into this fucking album. Then it gets to Breaking Glass. I've been breaking glass in the room again. This is like when Bowie was coming down. They moved to Berlin to get away from all the fucking drugs and crazy shit. And, then they moved to Berlin where it's just hookers and fucking booze, I guess. So he was breaking glass in the room again. Or what he did to the carpet or some shit. It's fucked up. Then it's got What in the World. It's fucking great. It's got Sound and Vision. Blue, electric blue. That's the color of my room where I will live. This is a song about him basically saying they're putting me away in a fucking mental institution because I've lost my fucking mind. Yeah. And I will sit right there waiting for the gift of sound and vision. It's fucking amazing. I love that song. He's crashing in the same car. It's all right. Be My Wife is fucking lonely and depressing and trippy. Warsazawa. That's a fucking great song. All these songs were written like Art Decade was supposed to be like a play on words. It was supposed to be what was it? It was like Art Decay. That's what it was supposed to be. Art Decay. Like he was decaying because his art had been decaying because he was so fucking out of control on drugs and shit. Weeping Wall, Subterranean, like these are all like Warsaw or whatever the fuck it's called. What is it? Warsaw. Can't say it today. My brain is melted. But it was supposed to be about Warsaw. He went to Warsaw, Poland, and saw it in 1976 and said it was depressing as fuck. And then, this is about like being in East Berlin versus West Berlin, and like Subterranean is about the people that woke up on the wrong side of the fucking wall. And so you're like saxophone kind of muted, kind of playing in the distance because you're just like, these are memories that they used to have and now they're behind the fucking wall, So it was all about Berlin and about you know, that area, and just about like kind of Cold War, fucking deprived of everything. This album to me felt fresh because this was the first one where it just came out of the gate. I kind of think it lost a little steam on Heroes, and then Lodger was kind of like in a different direction to where like he was kind of putting a normal album back together. So, but Low has always been my favorite of the Berlin trilogy. So, fuck yeah, 1977 Low. Number 6, I'm gonna go Black Star. Number 6 all time, man. This is Bowie's fucking epitaph, man. Black Star, 2016. It was released on January 8th, his 69th birthday, and 2 days later, David was gone. This album still resonates with me. This is David Bowie writing his goodbye letter. It is. It's stark. You know, you got song Black Star. You got "Tis a Pity She Was a Whore." "Tis a Pity She Was a Whore." It's got Lazarus. Dude, watch the videos on these. Jesus Christ. It's got Sue or In a Season of Crime. It's got Girl Loves Me. Where the fuck has Monday gone? It's got Dollar Days, which is a great song, and I Can't Give Everything Away. It's a fucking great album. From top to bottom, it's a great album. It's, like I said, it's kind of out there. There's some fucking interesting fucking things going on, but this was all done in secret, just like the next day, but this was all done in secret while Bowie was dying. And nobody outside of his circle knew that he was dying. But he had like fucking like stage 4 liver cancer or some shit. Like he knew he was dying. It was just a matter of time. So he did what he could. On the day of its release, there's the pictures, and I'll put them up here if I can find them. But where he's got the hat on and his suit, and he's dancing. It's crazy because you see that, and you're like, that's his birthday, his 69th birthday. And 2 days later, he was dead. So, awesome. Black Star is David's fucking goodbye letter to his fans and to the world. So, it's fucking heavy, and I'm not going to say it's fun to listen to, because it's not, but it's great to listen to. It's fucking dark. He's fucking dying, dude. You know, when you watch, you can go back and watch those interviews with like Frank Zappa when he knew he was fucking dying, dude. He had fucking like stage 4 colon cancer. He's fucked. He was kind of bitter, man. People are like, "How are you doing it?" "I'm fucking dying," he said. I'm fucking dying. How do you think I'm feeling? But Bowie kind of kept it to himself, just like Neil Peart. Nobody knew Neil Peart had fucking cancer, brain cancer. And, you know, he was still kind of good with it. I remember I was watching an interview with Alex, and Alex Lifeson said, you know, Neil was like, dude, I'm well past my expiration point. Or did Getty say that? I saw an interview with Getty and Neil too. Or Getty and Alex. And, like, he lived longer than he expected because he had fucking brain cancer, dude. So, all this must have been weighing on Bowie as he was writing and getting this album done. And it's a fucking snapshot of his farewell. So it's fucking great. I love it. Number 5, I'm going to go 1974. This is top 5, man. 1974 fucking Diamond Dogs. A lot of people are, you know, if you're into the glam era Bowie, you're going to be like, oh my God, I fucking love that album. I love it too. I just love some of them more than others. Opens up with Future Legend. Oh my God. Fleas the size of rats sucked on rats the size of cats. 10,000 peopleoids fled to Hunger City, right? Oh, I listened to this morning. Goes into Diamond Dogs. This ain't rock and roll. It's genocide. That is fucking crazy to say, right? This isn't rock and roll. It's genocide. Fuck. Diamond Dogs, yeah. It's got Candidate on it. Sweet Thing, I kind of like Sweet Thing, but it's not my favorite. It just kind of drags. And Sweet Thing Reprise, I could have done without that. As fucking Rebel, which we all love. We Are the Dead is great. Fucking 1984 is like my favorite song on this fucking album. Wow, wow, wow. It sounds like fucking the theme song from fucking Starsky and Hutch or some shit. It's fucking great. Wow, wow, wow. 1984. It's fucking great. Big Brother's fucking great. Mine had Dodo and Candidate, the bonus version. It's pretty exciting. This is fucking Diamond Dogs. It's a fucking iconic fucking David Bowie album. It is. It's fucking great. What can you say about fucking Diamond Dogs? Jesus Christ. It's one of those albums that, dude, is probably in everybody's top 10 or top whatever fucking albums. Who'd we have on here? We had David Bowie. Oh, Alan Parker played fucking guitar in 1984. Ansley Dunsmore played drums. Good old Ansley Dunsmore. He played in fucking what? Judas Priest? He played in Whitesnake, Ansley Dunsmore. He played in fucking Journey. He was on the first fucking Journey album with Steve Perry. Herbie Flowers on bass guitar. It's a fucking great album. Fucking Diamond Dogs. Diamond Dogs. The year of the Diamond Dogs. Yep, Diamond Dogs is number 5. I love that fucking album, but I just love some of these other ones just a little fucking bit more. Number 4, we're going to go the album that came out right before Diamond Dogs, and we're going to go to Aladdin Sane from 1973. Ooh, watch that, man. It's got, ooh, we love Aladdin Sane. We love Aladdin Sane. It's got Drive-In Saturday. Drive-In Saturday. It's got Panic in Detroit. Fucking love that. It's got Cracked Actor. Give me your head. It's got Time on it. It's got Let's Spend the Night Together, the Rolling Stones cover. It's got the Genie singing a song about his dick, right? And it's got Lady Grinning Soul, which is fucking awesome. This album is very nearly flawless. Prettiest Star is alright. It's alright. Not my favorite. But everything else is fucking awesome. Aladdin Sane, right? This is the fucking, you see that in Hollywood they have that big fucking thing, big old fucking painting of Bowie, and it says Aladdin Sane. This is the tattoo of that fucking Gaga has on her body. Fucking awesome. Fucking David Bowie is Aladdin Sane. It's a great fucking album. Number 4 on my list. It's fucking awesome. Love it. Number 3. Number 3, I'm going to go 1971. I'm going to go Hunky Dory, man. Hunky Dory from 1971. It's got changes, turn and face the strange changes. I love the live version where he's like, the children that you shit on as they try and change their world instead of spit on. It's got, oh, you pretty things. Don't you know you're driving your mothers and fathers insane? Don't you know it's a gotta make way for the homo superior, right? My voice is awesome today, right? It's got fucking life on Mars. It's a god awful sort of affair. Rule Britannia, St. John's. To my mother, my dog, and clowns. And the film is a sad ball, 'cause I've lived it 10 times or more. It's about to be writ again as we focus on sailors fighting in the dance hall. Oh no, watch it, those cavemen go. It's the freakiest show, right? Take a look at the lawman beating up the wrong guy. See, Bowie was fucking speaking out. It's still true today, right? Fucking life on Mars. Got a couple of kooks. I like the song Kooks. It's pretty good. Quicksand's good. Andy Warhol looks a scream, hang him on my wall. Andy Warhol, silver screen, can't tell them apart at all. I fucking love this song. Ever since the first time I ever heard this fucking album, for some reason, Andy Warhol just popped out at me. Fucking love it. Such a great fucking song. Song for Bob Dylan. He's singing a song about Bob Dylan. It's Robert Zimmerman. You know. It's fucking great. Queen Bitch is fucking awesome. And the Boulay Brothers. This had fucking Adrian Belew on here, right? Didn't it? I believe. Hunky Dory. Rick Wakeman. Andy Warhol looks a scream, hang him on my wall. Said Mick Ronson, Trevor Boulder, Mick Woodmansey. Rick Wakeman played piano on it. No Adrian Belew. Where was I thinking Adrian? Oh, was he on the... That was probably the live version, right? This is a fucking great album. This is fucking Bowie's, what, 4th album? It's fucking genius, man. Yeah, it's 4th album. It's fucking genius. Number fucking 3 for me. It's fucking great. Hunky Dory. Fucking go find it. Fucking listen to it. It's fucking stellar. Number 2. This was tough, man. When I got into the fucking top 10, it was fucking hard. Number 2 on the list. There's only 2 left, so which is which? I mean, obviously, when I say the number 2, it's going to give away the number 1, but anyway. Number 2 on the list is a little album from 1970, and it's called The Man Who Sold the World. Man Who Sold the World. This is the first album with Mick Ronson on guitar. Bowie had met Ronson, and they were like, dude, let's make some music. So you got Mick Woodmansey on here, right? The drummer. Gotta check this out. Mick Woodmansey is on drums. You got Tony Visconti on bass. And you got Mick Ronson on guitar and David Bowie on guitar and vocals. This is pretty much the Spiders from Mars minus, the addition of, or the reduction of Tony Visconti and the addition of Mr. Boop. Trevor Boulder, right? Trevor Boulder played bass on the Ziggy Stardust album. Dude, this is the album that turned me on to Bowie like 100%. This was that album that Greg said, dude, you got to listen to Man Who Sold the World. So I remember this is one of the first ones that I got when I went on my Bowie binge back in like 90 or 91. Fuck. I love this album. That's why it's number 2. Starts out with Width of a Circle, right? Where it's like, and I came across a monster who was sleeping by a tree. And I looked and found that the monster was me, right? Such a great fucking song. Fucking love it. All the Madmen, where he's all, I will fly, I will scream, I will break my arm, I will do me harm. The song was written about his half brother who was fucking in a mental institution. It's fucked up. It's awesome. I fucking love it. Black Country Rock. Take it back, oh, see to Black Country Rock. This album is all over the fucking place. It sounds like Sabbath in spots. It's fucking everything. It's got a country song on it. It's got some fucking rockin' songs. It's got acoustic. It's like, this is such a good fucking album. And lyrically, it's one of fucking Bowie's masterpieces. It really fucking is. I mean, from Width of a Circle and All the Madmen. All the Madmen where he's like, day after day, they take my friends away and send them all away to mansions cold and gray on the far side of town, where the thin men stalk the streets while the saints stay underground. Like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? It's fucking epic. You get into fuck After All. After All's a trip where they're just like, bye bye jingle. It's fucking melancholy and fucking weird. And then you got Running Gun Blues, which is, it's a little satirical, a little sarcastic. It's fucking pretty fucking, it's about like assassins in like Vietnam War, where he's like, I count the corpses on my left, I find them not so tidy, so I better get away, better take it today, I've got 23 down since Friday. I got the Running Gun Blues, where he's like, I'll shoot them all, I'll smash their heads. Take them till they're running red. It's fucking whoa. Probably couldn't get away coming out with that nowadays. People might fucking be offended by that, but it's fucking amazing. Savior Machine. President Joe had a dream. It was the Savior Machine, and its word was law. Totally futuristic, fucking weird, fucking awesome. She Shook Me Cold. That was like Mick Ronson. It was totally like fucking sounded like Jimmy. It was just about banging a chick, She Shook Me Cold. Of course, you got the fucking epic title track, The Man Who Sold the World. Oh no me, I've never lost control. Your face to face with the man who sold the world. Oh, and then the album ends with the Superman, and it's fucking epic, like haunting fucking rock fucking awesomeness. This album from top to bottom is fucking glorious. And like I said, some of Bowie's absolutely best fucking lyrics. It's not for the meek, definitely. There's some fucking weird ass shit in here, but it's fucking awesome. And this fucking album like covers so many fucking genres. It's fun to listen to. I just listened to it not too long ago, and I'll probably listen to it again really soon because it had been a bit since I heard it, even though it's my number 2 album. It's always fucking good to go back and fucking rediscover that album. It's great, and everybody remembers, Kurt Cobain did "Man Who Sold the World" on the MTV Unplugged Nirvana show, and it was fucking. Even though he had to tell everybody, this is a David Bowie song, it's like, oh, is it? Originally, this album. Now, I got the version where David's like lounging on the couch and he's wearing the man dress, which is the more famous cover. The original cover was a cartoon drawn by one of his friends, and it's like a guy toting a gun. He's supposed to be like John Wayne, and his hat's all coming off like he got shot, and they're standing outside some building in England that I don't fucking remember. Originally it was called Metropolis, after like the Fritz Lang movie Metropolis. And the guy had like a talking balloon, but it was left blank. In latter years, when they like reissued it for its like 50th anniversary, they filled in the blank, because originally it was supposed to say something like "hike up your sleeves." And what was it? It was supposed to be blah, blah, blah. Na, na, na. Roll up your sleeves and show us your arms. It was supposed to be a pun on record players, guns, and drug use. But the record company was like, nah, let's not do that. So originally it had that cover, and then it was changed to the cover where David's lounging in his living room at that fucking place. Where were they staying? It's kind of famous. Do cuckoo. Or a fish dress. Wow. David liked to throw on dresses, man. I will tell you, like, there's look on the inside of Lodger. There's a fucking picture of him wearing a dress, and he looks like a fucking chick. And you're like, whoa, what the fuck is that? And then you're all, oh. They were in the Haddon Hall living room, which took place in a domestic environment on a chase lounge. And he was wearing a dress, which back then was like outrageous. Now, like Harry Styles throws on a fucking dress every time, and it's like, dude, Bowie did it in 1970. That was 52 years ago. Figured that shit out. Like Jane's Addiction said, nothing shocking. Slap a set of titties on you. You want to take that extra step? You want to say, yeah, let's fucking get crazy? Slap a fucking set of titties on you, yeah? Harry Styles. All right, and that leads us to number 1. I actually wore the t-shirt, so I kind of gave it away, but I don't really give a fuck. My favorite David Bowie album of all time is The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars from 1972. Now, I know there's those people that they love the fucking older Bowie. And I know there's people out there that love the fucking middle fucking period Bowie. Like people that fucking have Station to Station tattooed on their fucking chest. Or that picture, from The Man Who Fell to Earth. Another album with another picture of, because Low was the same, right? Low was a picture of the man who fell to earth, and then so was Station to Station, because Bowie did that movie. Yeah, exciting. Fuck, Ziggy Stardust, man. 5 years. We got 5 years. My brain hurts a lot. We've got 5 years. That's such a great fucking song. It's got Soul Love. It's got I'm an alligator. I'm a mama papa coming for you. I'm a space invader. I'll be a rock and rolling bitch for you. It's got fucking Moon Age Daydream, right? Everybody fucking recognizes that as an amazing song. It's got Storm. There's a storm, man. It Ain't Easy. Fucking Lady Stardust. It's got Star. It's got Hang On to Yourself. Fuck. It's got Ziggy Stardust. Ziggy played guitar. Jamming good with Weird and Gillen and the Spiders from Mars. He played it left hand, but made it too far. Right? When the kids had killed the man, I had to break up the band. It's got fucking Suffragette City. Jesus Christ. It's got Rock and Roll Suicide. My version has John, I'm only dancing. Velvet Goldmine, Sweethead. It's fucking great. This album from top to bottom is a fucking flowing, amazing fucking album from 1972. It's fucking great. Bowie has such a rich catalog, and I fucking love a lot of his albums. I love some of his newer stuff. I love a ton of his older stuff, and so for me, it's kind of. But those first 5 or 6 albums are fucking amazing, and then he hit Young Americans. He came back a little with Station to Station, and then went into his cleanup act. But overall, fuck, man, I love that album. I love fucking Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, obviously, because I have the album cover where it says Key West. Key West. Maybe? I don't know. Ooh. So there's my list for you. I have a fucking ton of live shit. I have a ton of EPs. I have a ton of fucking Bowie. David Live is awesome. You know, Stage is fucking awesome. Like, I have the Glass Spider fucking tour from 87. I got Glastonbury 2000. Fuck, man. What else do I got? I got fucking Serious Moonlight 1983. I have all the fucking practice stuff he did with Stevie Ray Vaughan. That's fucking pretty amazing. Boom, boom, boom. I have all the little extras and the little fucking add-ons and all the fucking bonus tracks and all the little box sets and shit like that. It's fucking amazing stuff, man. There's a ton of Bowie out there. Tin Machine is fucking great to listen to. What else do I have? Let's see. Welcome to the Blackout. Live in London from 1978. Woo. That's on the fucking Heroes tour. Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, the motion picture. Oh, the Santa Monica 72 show is fucking awesome. Santa Monica 1972. Fucking great. Cracked Actor live in LA in 1974. Oh, is that on the... Oh. Just John, I'm only down. That must have been the second half of the soul half of the fucking tour. Like I was talking about, Christine F. The Workinder von Bahnhof Zoo. We children of Zoo Station. I don't really read German that well, but that does have the German version of Heroes called Helden. Heroes Helden. That's kind of interesting, but that was released before too. It was just in Germany. Bertolt Brecht's Ball. Mm-hmm. The other day I was listening to there's a fucking Bowie did fucking Peter and the Wolf, and he like narrates it while they're orchestrating it. Peter and the Wolf. It's pretty fucking awesome. See, I got a bunch of BBC stuff. I got The Width of a Circle, which has a bunch of that cool shit. So much Bowie. Storytellers is fucking great. He tells some funny stories about that shit. It's fucking awesome. So, hey, fuck, man. Go out and listen to some David Bowie today. We'll go over the list real quick. Number 28 was The Buddha, Suburbia. Number 27 was Hours. Number 26 was Earthling. 25, Reality. 24, Toy. 23, the first David Bowie album from 1967. Number 22 was Never Let Me Down. I'm going the 87 version, although the 2018 version is pretty cool. 21 was Black Tie, White Noise. 20 was Outside. 19 was Labyrinth. 18 was Heathen. 17 was Young Americans from 1975. 16 was The Next Day. 15 was Tonight. 14 Pinups. 13 Heroes, in quotations. Number 12 was Scary Monsters and Super Creeps from 1980. 11, Station to Station, with the return of the Thin White Duke, right? Number 10 was Lodger from 1979. Number 9, Let's Dance from 1983. Number 8 was David Bowie or Space Oddity from 1969. Number 7 was Low, the first Berlin Trilogy album with Brian Eno. Number 6 was Black Star, David Bowie's final album. Number 5 was Diamond Dogs from 1974. Number 4 was Aladdin Sane from 1973. Number 3, Hunky Dory from 1971 with Andy Warhol looks a scream, hang him on the wall. Andy Warhol, silver screen, can't tell me apart at all. Number 2 was Onward Upon the Stair. We spoke and was aware, although I knew his name. I didn't know his name. Too late. I never lost it all. Your face to face with the man who sold the world out. Totally fucked that up, but anyways. Man Who Sold the World was number 2, and number 1 was The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. There you have it. Everybody stay metal. Listen to some fucking Bowie today. Don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to leave comments.